Today, we're taking a look into the final known interview with the brilliant, chaotic, and, yeah, endlessly controversial John McAfee. This was captured right before his death while he was on the run. So, what you're about to get is a raw, totally unfiltered look into one of the most unique and polarizing minds of our time. I mean, that quote, it pretty much says it all, right? This wasn't a normal life, it was an extreme one, lived completely on his own terms. For better and, as we're gonna see, often for worse.
And you know what makes this so incredible is the context. This isn't some polished sit-down interview in a studio. McAfee is talking to the folks at Cyber Midnight Club while he is actively on the run from U.S. authorities. It's an unbelievably rare and final glimpse into his mind, and it's thanks to them that we even have this at all. So you have to ask, how does someone even end up living a life like that? Well, according to McAfee, it all kicked off with one single catalyst that just completely blew up his conventional life path. Let's dig into that transformation and the really steep price he paid for it. He was incredibly clear about what caused it. Psychedelics. He gave them full credit for unlocking his success and really his entire persona. But he was also brutally honest that this change came with a heavy, heavy cost. So what did that trade-off actually look like? I mean, look at this. The contrast is it's stark. Before, his life was something a lot of us might recognize, right? Waking up for a job he hated, what he called being a slave to the system. And after, a world of success, of innovation, sure, but also a world of just constant chaos, arrests, and living completely off the grid. It was a total, complete break from a normal life. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures his warning. You know, he never actually recommended psychedelics. He just stated his own experience as fact. They will ignite a change, but you have absolutely zero control over where that fire is going to spread. It's a really powerful and cautionary idea. So this unconventional thinking, it wasn't just some phase. It bled into every single part of his life, especially his whole philosophy on money. I mean, he created enormous wealth, but his view on investing wasn't just unconventional. It was a complete and total rejection of the entire system. It really doesn't get much clearer than that, does it? He saw investing as like a lazy gamble where you're never the house. So instead of trusting these outside systems, he believed real value had to be created by you directly. So what were the only investments worth a damn in his eyes? Well, things you could directly control. Your time, your work, your own creativity. And, in a moment of just peak McAfee pragmatism, chickens. And why chickens? Because you can eat them. It's a philosophy that's just grounded in this pure, tangible reality. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what about crypto? The world he was so deeply involved in. Well, for him, it was never about getting rich. He saw it as a revolutionary tool. It wasn't an investment you speculate on. It was a weapon for financial freedom. A way to operate outside the very system he distrusted so much. And that deep distrust of the system, that brings us to what is, for me, the most intense part of this entire interview. When he was asked about the killing of George Floyd, McAfee didn't really talk about race. Instead, he laid out this stark, kind of overarching theory of human nature and power itself. This was how he reframed the event. He basically argued that if you only look at it through the lens of race, you're missing a much more fundamental problem. For McAfee, the real conflict wasn't about color. It was about a dynamic at the very core of all human society. Let's break his theory down. Step 1. We all have two sides, right? The good stuff and the bad stuff. Step 2, and this is his key point, power only activates our negative traits. Think about it. Love and compassion, they have no use for power. But greed, anger, envy, they thrive on it. So he concluded the problem isn't the people, it's the power structure itself. So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway from his worldview is this. All the conflicts we see, racial, political, cultural, they're all just symptoms. The actual disease, in his eyes, is the corrupting dynamic between the powerful and the powerless. Period. So as the interview was drawing to a close, they asked McAfee for one final piece of advice. And what he said was simple, it was direct, and it might just be the perfect summary of his entire philosophy on life. Wow, I mean, it's such a radical call for personal authenticity. If you hate your job, quit. If a relationship is dead, leave. His point is, if this one life is really all we get, then wasting a single second of it on something that doesn't make you feel truly alive is the greatest tragedy of all. A challenging, and for a lot of people, a really inspiring final thought. Look, that was just a small glimpse into a truly fascinating final conversation. To hear the whole thing, completely unfiltered, you have to search for the Cyber Midnight Club podcast. You can find all their latest episodes at cybermidnight.club. Trust me, it is absolutely worth your time.